Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Laurentian unions want pay increases to the president and provost rescinded.
LUFA was in negotiations with the employer at that time.
Minutes from the meeting were reportedly approved months after the Board of Governors meeting. Plus, a judge will soon rule on a settlement reached in the Elliott Lake Mall collapse class action lawsuit. And stopping the scam artists.
And they prey on urgency. Oftentimes, victims think that a family member's name was used, when in fact it really wasn't.
Experts pair up to raise awareness so you can protect yourself.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Staff and faculty unions at Laurentian University are calling on the Board of Governors to rescind a motion that increases the salary of the president and provost. CTV's Lindsay Alex starts us off tonight.
It was a special meeting last October when the motion was approved, but it was only made public just before the February 27th Laurentian University Board of Governors meeting, when minutes from that meeting last fall were adopted.
Bylaws state that the minutes should have come to the next meeting, which was October 17th, the day after. Now, I think most people would recognize that's a real short turnaround, but it certainly should have come on the minute meetings 2 months later. And that's where I think a lot of people are questioning why it wasn't there.
LUFA was in negotiations with the employer at that time. Is that the explanation? We hope it's not, but we need to know again, because it's quite unusual.
In a statement to CTV News, Jay Barbeau, chair of the board, says in part, a process to adjust compensation for these two executive roles began years ago and predates both the appointment of the two incumbents and the LUFA contract negotiations. The salary adjustments bring Laurentian closer to similar roles at peer institutions of comparable size and location. The minutes show President Lynn Wells will see an increase to $318,365 annually, while Provost Malcolm Campbell will see an increase to $252,210.
What should happen now is the board rescind that motion and bring a new motion forward, following obviously proper bylaws, and that they align the increases for our senior leaders with the staff and faculty and what we've received. I mean, this would be fair and equitable, and I honestly think it sends a strong message that if we're all in it together, then let's all be in it together.
In 2024, the staff union negotiated a 12% increase over 3 years, while LUFA members will see a 4.25% increase over the next 3 years, following a 3-week strike earlier this year. The next Board of Governors meeting is set for April 24th. Both Fensky and Collins say they hope to get more answers at that time. Lindsay Alex, CTV News, Sudbury.
One person is injured following a stabbing Friday afternoon in Kearney. Provincial police were called to a home on Park Road after a report of a person in medical distress. The individual was taken to hospital with injuries consistent with a stabbing. A 22-year-old from Kearney is charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault. A judge will decide next month whether to accept a proposed settlement of a class action lawsuit connected to the 2012 roof collapse of the Algo Center Mall in Elliott Lake. The collapse killed 2 women and led to a provincial inquiry which found problems with the roof were covered up by the engineer hired to do inspections. A class action lawsuit was certified in 2014 and sought $30 million in damages. The legal team that filed the suit says a proposed settlement has been reached. A hearing has been set for April 10th. Sudbury police have laid charges in connection with a fatal hit-and-run collision last Friday in Sudbury. A 55-year-old Sudbury man is charged with failure to stop after an accident causing death. A 46-year-old woman died after she was struck Friday morning on Paris Street. Sudbury police say the driver was identified after investigators reviewed CCTV footage and used automated license plate recognition technology. The lights should be back on soon for about 10,000 plus customers who spent the evening without power tonight. According to Hydro One, they had to conduct an emergency power outage for Manitoulin Island and areas so they could conduct critical work repairing and replacing insulators at the Manitoulin transmission system. That power was supposed to be restored by 10, but at last check, they were reassessing. March is Fraud Prevention Month. The North Bay Police and the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre are raising awareness about scam artists. As CTV's Eric Tashner tells us, crimes are evolving with new technologies and AI.
Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, how may I help you?
While fraud can begin with a single phone call, email, or online message, investigations show that many scams are part of larger criminal networks that rely on digital platforms, anonymity, and speed to reach victims.
It's one of the only types of crime that comes right into our residence from all over the world. Right? So there's no broken windows or there's no visible crime scene.
Last year, fraud losses in Canada exceeded $700 million. The crime also remains underreported, with only about 5 to 10% of incidents called into police.
And they prey on urgency. Oftentimes, victims think that a family member's name was used when in fact it really wasn't.
Fraud is often described as a hidden crime, one that does not leave visible damage, but a lasting financial impact on victims. Scammers are also tapping into artificial intelligence. A new poll suggests a majority of Canadians are finding it harder to know if an ad is real or if it's a scam, and that AI is making it harder to differentiate between the two.
We're seeing it being used with deepfakes on social media or, advertisements online, where it might be a trusted political figure or maybe a news anchor promoting a cryptocurrency platform.
The Anti-Fraud Centre and police encourage people to be wary of unexpected or urgent requests for money, take time to verify before sending funds or sharing details, and discuss fraud with vulnerable family members or seniors.
The people that are vulnerable within our community that fall prey to a lot of these things, and I think those are the people that aren't necessarily getting the message.
Anyone who believes they have been targeted by fraud is encouraged to contact their local police service and report the incident to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
The city of Greater Sudbury says it's looking to address the issues of threats and harassment being faced by some public works employees. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
With an increase of harassment directed to municipal public works employees, the Association of the Ontario Road Supervisors is calling on the province to intervene.
If you get yelled at or something like that, it's just part of the job of working for a municipality. But that's not the case. That shouldn't be part of the job. And so we're really trying to raise awareness that this behavior is uncalled for and that it is actually creating very unsafe workplaces where municipal public works employees don't feel safe to come to work.
Meanwhile, Sudbury City Councillor Deb McIntosh has a member's motion set to be heard at the next City Council meeting. The motion calls on the province to recognize municipal public workers as essential during emergencies and significant weather events.
We have written letters to the Minister of Labour as well as the Solicitor General requesting legislative changes to better protect municipal public employees. We've already seen municipalities, several municipalities across the province pass a similar motion that the City of Greater Sudbury is looking at. So it is becoming an issue that I think municipalities are recognizing that it is their responsibility to provide a safe workplace for their employees.
Elliott said this fear of unsafe working conditions could lead to unsafe communities. With many nearing retirement, this could prevent new employees from entering the field. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Meanwhile, the Ontario government is touting what it says is a plan to accelerate the economic growth of the province's northern regions.
We want to accelerate the roads up there because it doesn't just bring mining, it brings opportunities for their young people, and that's what we want.
The plan involves completing construction on all-season roads leading to the Ring of Fire region in the province, with shovels in the ground this summer and roads open by 2030. Once completed, the province says the roads will connect First Nation communities with Ontario's highway network. The Kidd Mine and Met site properties in Timmins are going to have a new owner. Discovery Silver Corporation says it will buy Glencore's operations, which are slated to close at the end of the year. Discovery Silver says acquiring the Kidd operations provides an opportunity to grow the company. It says the Kidd operations come with valuable infrastructure like a power supply, access to water, a highly skilled workforce, and a chance to increase processing capacity.
We've learned that you can gain a lot of success if you're willing to roll up your sleeves and go in and do the work at these mines and really harvest the value that's still there. And you know, we when I say we're committed to the Timmins camp, there's just tremendous potential there. I mean, we've got roughly 16 million ounces in resource today, but you know, there's a reason why we've got 20 drill rigs turning, because we think at the end of the day that there's millions and millions of more ounces to be found. And you know, we think that camp, the Timmins camp, is just going to keep on going.
Discovery Silver says it expects the acquisition to be finalized before summer. Laurentian is getting a large contribution from a mining company and its workers' union to honor the late Leo Gerard. Valley Base Metals and United Steelworkers Local 6500 pledged $450,000 to the university. The funding is to support the creation of the Dr. Leo Gerard Research Chair in Occupational Safety and Health. The focus will be on the application to mining. Well, Kirkland Lake is warning its residents tonight about the potential for flooding, saying warmer weather is expected, which could result in a rapid snowmelt and potential flooding in low-lying areas. The town's warning comes following a state of emergency 2 years ago in which heavy rainfall hit the region. Murdoch and Rand Creeks overflowed their banks, and there was a surcharge of the town's sanitary system. Officials are urging residents to clear away their window wells and move snow from foundations. Public Works is working on drainage while monitoring the town's hotspots. Well, speaking of weather, time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, look at the current conditions, and we've got a little bit of flurry action in some areas, but it's mostly cloud cover we're seeing tonight. Hopefully that cloud clears before the lunar eclipse. If you're up at 3:45, might be a good view of the moon this morning. -10 in North Bay, -4 in Kapuskasing. Details after the break.
New month, new conditions. Let's check out our forecast radar for the next couple of days as things turn milder in Northeastern Ontario. This is what we've got, some flurry activity more to the north and the south, some rain to the south, a chance of sleet in the forecast, chance of showers, kind of like a mixed bag, but it's a great start to the month of March. And again, with time change coming up on Saturday, it's a welcome respite from the winter that we've endured. Sudbury Nickel Belt, here we go. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we start off with mainly cloudy tomorrow, -1. Gets warmer at 2 degrees. Wednesday, Thursday, sun and cloud. 3 with cloud conditions on Friday. 4 Saturday, chance of showers. 5 degrees, sun and cloud come Sunday. Normally, you should be sitting at -3. Take a look at your evening temperatures. Not too shabby for the month of March. I like that. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, chance of flurries tomorrow at 0. 5 degrees Wednesday, sun and cloud. Some cloud cover for a couple of days, Thursday, Friday, 3 and 5. Chance of showers on Saturday, 3 degrees up to 6 Sunday, some sun and cloud. Normally you're sitting at -1 for this time of the year. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, flurries for tomorrow, -3, -6 on Wednesday. Good bad hair with 60% chance of flurries, 30% chance on Thursday at -5. 3 degrees on Friday as things warm up. Some cloud cover. 1 Saturday, so sleet, you've got rain or snow. 4 degrees on Sunday with cloud cover. Normally you're sitting at -3. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, chance of flurries for a couple of days at 30%. 0 your high tomorrow, -1 on Wednesday, warming up to 1 Thursday with the cloud. Friday, more cloud cover at 3. Chance of showers Saturday at 60%, high of +4, and 6 degrees on Sunday. Sun and cloud, your normal temperature for this time of the year, about -3. Now we'll look at North Bay, West Nipissing. Increasing cloud tomorrow, +1. 4 degrees on Wednesday, sun and cloud. 3 Thursday with the cloud cover. Friday, more cloud, 5 degrees. 7, couple of hockey stick days. Saturday and Sunday, chance of showers Saturday, some sun and cloud on Sunday. Normally, you're sitting at about -1, at least according to Environment Canada. So Ian, some showers, some flurries, some sleet, at least a chance of sleet, and some warmer temperatures all rolling in to Northeastern Ontario. We've endured enough this past winter. I think we're due, and we're off and running in a new month of March. Back to you.
Definitely overdue for the warm. Thanks, Rick. Well, the expansion of a social services program in Sault Ste. Marie will mean more coverage for the city's community wellness bus. CTV Square Northwestern reports.
Last March, the federal government approved a 2-year, $3.5 million funding application to expand the community wellness bus program to have it operate 24/7. Nearly a year later, officials with the Canadian Mental Health Association say delays have meant the program is currently operating as it has been for years, with the expansion still on the horizon.
Getting the budget approved, getting the work plan approved, and the level of detail that is needed post-application. So some of those finer details we've been working with Health Canada as well as the municipality and DSAB to make sure that those things are right. Next up, since the fall, we've been working on recruitment and orientation and training.
As part of the funding deal, the CMHA and local social services were to add a revamped former ambulance as a community wellness bus and 2 smaller vehicles that can provide different supports.
Seeing the patient volume and the patient type that are accessing the community wellness bus, we have a better idea of what vehicles we can use to serve those folks. So not everyone needs to access something as large as the community wellness bus. We really just need to get the folks on the ground there to them.
So having that outreach team be able to go to them and then to provide some transportation to things like a warming space, shelter, housing supports, withdrawal management, as well as being able to get people transportation to appropriate treatment when necessary as well. We know the need is great in our community right now.
Officials hope to have the 2 SUVs on the road by April, though it's expected that the second bus will take longer to come into service. It's also believed that the mobile services could be operating 24/7 by that same time. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
We're learning more tonight about the Premier's plans for a new convention center in Toronto, one he says will be nearly 5 times larger than the current one. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
It's been a mainstay in downtown Toronto since 1984 for Comic-Con, COVID vaccine clinics, and countless conventions. But the Premier feels the Ontario-owned Metro Toronto Convention Centre
goes up, that goes down, that goes up, that goes sideways, you cross the road.
Is on its last legs. Despite its prime location, the convention centre is trailing other global facilities in locking down big events, leaving economic benefit to others.
We're going to build a world-class 2 million square foot state-of-the-art convention center.
That's 4.5 times the exhibition space of the current convention center. It means new construction somewhere else. There's no price tag Doug Ford's willing to share.
We have an incredible idea, and I just can't mention where it's going to be or how we're going to build it, but it's going to be another shock and awe.
At another event a few hours later, a hint at a possible new convention center on the exhibition grounds.
So if someone visits Toronto at a convention, they're going to say, wow, this is world class. Then I was able to go down to the Science Center with the kids. Then we caught a concert at Live Nation.
Ford won't confirm or deny he has his eyes on the X grounds.
We're just sorting some things out with our federal counterparts, our municipal and the province. But it's going to be world class.
With a lengthy, expensive redevelopment of the waterfront underway, there is some skepticism of a new convention center as a priority.
He's got to show us the cost benefit analysis. Like, he shouldn't just be drawing up billion-dollar ideas on the back of a napkin.
This isn't coming entirely out of the blue. In 2023, Ontario's Auditor General flagged issues with the convention centre, with dropping attendance, security issues, and a repair backlog that in July was close to $30 million. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
A new poll suggests a majority of Ontarians oppose another pay increase for MPPs. The Leger survey, which was commissioned by the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, found 75% of Ontarians are against MPPs getting a pay raise this year. That's compared to just 12% in favor. MPPs are set to get an estimated 4.2% pay bump on April 1st. They also voted to give themselves a 35% raise last year and reinstated annual pay raises for whenever federal MPs get a raise. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Parry Sound comes together to celebrate Olympic gold. More on that in a moment. A Canadian gold and bronze Olympic medalist was officially welcomed back by her hometown of Parry Sound this weekend. CTV's Mike Lang reports.
Saturday was Megan Oldham Day in Parry Sound.
Please give a big welcome to our Olympic champion, Megan Oldham.
The Stocky Centre filled with family, friends, and community members to celebrate the hardware around the 24-year-old's neck.
To finally come home and see everything you guys have done, it's honestly it's blown my mind. I'm driving through town and I see Canada flags and I see my face on windows and I see, like little signs on the lawn.
Over the last 2 weeks, Oldham soared her way to gold in the women's big air after she had skied her way to bronze in slopestyle.
Megan has spent the last 4 years learning bigger tricks so that her best was the best.
In Saturday's ceremony, her father Howard's remarks highlighted her fearlessness, toughness, and mental fortitude, allowing her to be the best on the world stage.
Megan's had 2 knee surgeries already. She's been hospitalized. And the determination and the grit to get through those setbacks is what sticks with me.
Mayor Jamie McCarvey discussing what her accomplishments mean to Parry Sound.
Every so often somebody comes along and they'll spark that sort of pride or whatever that communities need every once in a while, and it just really gives that boost.
MP Scott Aitchison watched Oldham's golden performance in person.
She's just a hardworking, down-to-earth, amazing person, and to me, she's like makes Canada so proud.
The ceremony was followed by an autograph session where Oldham met some of her biggest fans.
Somebody comes from Parry Sound to do all that stuff. The Olympic there, it's so awesome.
And then a downtown party on James Street.
It's been so special. I've received, like I said, so much support, and it's obviously a bit overwhelming at first, but like a great sense of overwhelming just because it's really cool to see how happy and excited everyone is.
Megan's brothers Bruce and Cody are also competitive skiers, and the hope is for all three to compete together on the world stage in 2030. Mike Lang, CTV News.
For the first time in its 50-year history, the Sault Symphony Orchestra is handing the entire program over to women. To celebrate International Women's Day this weekend, every piece performed will be the work of a female composer. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
It's a milestone 50 years in the making. For the first time, the Sault Symphony Orchestra's upcoming Voices of Innovation program is written exclusively by women.
When I have 5 daughters and I'm married to a really fantastic violinist, then the world is really not fair for women, even though we think it might be. So we're trying to rectify that to some degree musically, right? We're not going to solve all the problems in one day, but at least we can do something that I think is a really honorable thing and play some great music by wonderful women composers.
A 36-piece ensemble will bring these historic compositions to life, showcasing a global program of works from Canadian, American, French, and German composers.
I'm always happy when somebody performs anything of mine. And yeah, I think especially for an International Women's Day concert, that's kind of appropriate, and it's nice to be kind of included among the composers that they're highlighting.
Joining the orchestra is guest soloist Anne Louise Turgeon. As a mother with daughters of her own in music, she says this performance is about more than just the notes on the page, it's about the future.
I want them to continue because, all the women out there who want to study music, any kind of music, any kind of art, anything, that to not be afraid and also to speak out.
I think quite a lot is being done actually to sort of help promote women composers, and this concert is an example of that. I think these concerts are important.
The Sault Symphony Orchestra says it is hoping to host similar programs featuring women. The concert will be held at the Machine Shop on Sunday, March 8th at 2 p.m. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Finally for us tonight, Bryan Adams will be stopping in 2 Northern Ontario cities this summer. The Canadian rocker has added some new dates to his Roll with the Punches cross-country tour. He'll play at the Sudbury Community Arena on August 31st and GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie on September 1st. His special guest on the tour is Timmins-born musician known as Lights. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. That's going to be one pretty cool show. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.